Thank you for browsing page 121. Today we're going to take a look at an offering from Cyborg Prime Games, written by Frank Siccardi. The Human Resources Department, Agents, 36 pre-rolled characters. I like this book a lot. Before the author contacted me the other day to ask if I wanted to take a look at this, and by the way, thank you for the copy sent to me by the author. But before he even contacted me about this, I had found this on drive-thru and thought, this is something that looks pretty interesting. So I didn't have time to really do much diving into it or look at any samples or anything. But then the author contacted me and said, hey, do you want a copy to do on your channel? And I said, sure. So here we go. Let's take a look at what you get inside. What you get is Agents, and we get a note of how to use this book. Pick any character that fits your desired play or concept. And then you throw a 2 die 6. The first die 6 determines which of the groups you're going to be in. The second die 6 gives you the individual agent. And then cross-reference your results to find your agent. And then understanding the character cards, he gives you notes here. And we have the main attributes of strength, dex, endurance, intelligence, education, and social. Very common in 2 die 6 games. This would be usable in any Cepheus 2 die 6 game or Traveler. You could easily use this in any of those games. Taking a look, if I threw a 1 and a 1, I would get Agent, rank 2, Field Agent. He would have terms in University, Law Enforcement, and Corporate. Strength of 8, Dex of 11, Endurance 7, Intelligence 11, Education 9, Soc 5. He has a hit point stat of 26. Where did you get the 26? He simply added the 3 physical stats together. 8 plus 11 is 19, and 19 is plus 7 is 26. So I have played Traveler using hit points. I've played Original Traveler. We tried hit points in that. Mega Traveler, and even Mongoose Traveler. When I started my current campaign a few years ago, I went ahead with the hit points. I find I didn't like it that much. Hit points are fine in a game like D&D, but for Traveler, I like that you're taking off of your actual stat. So when your endurance is reduced, you're exhausted more quickly. When your dexterity is reduced, you lose modifiers for firing your weapon, things like that. It just reflects things a little bit better in a game like Traveler. I like the slightly grittier, much more lethal combat. Keep in mind, too, in a game like Traveler and several Cepheus games, when you reach 0 on your stats, or in this case, hit points, you're dead. That's the end of it. Once you're out, you're out. And again, I like that. I like how lethal Traveler combat is. My players think twice before becoming murder hobos. So we go to, if we threw a 2 on our die 6, and then we threw a 3, for instance, we would get an Agent rank 2. He's a sergeant. University, Intelligence, and Law Enforcement were his terms. 8 strength, 10 dex, 10 endurance, 7 intelligence, 7 education, 8 soc. We have his hit points, how fast he moves, his speed. His armor, he's wearing cloth, which gives him 8 plus 8 armor. Unarmed damage is 1 die. And academic pilot turned intelligence officer. Take down the corrupt governor who ruined their life. Always checks the sky before making big decisions. And here's his stats. And then his augments, he has none, but he does have an enemy in a planetary governor. Pretty powerful enemy to have. I like that. These are all right here. They're all built in to the characters. And the characters progress more as the higher the original dice 6 was thrown. You've got more terms, slightly older characters here. On a 3, you get age 34. On a 4, age 34. 5, age 38. And a 6, age 38. So if you threw 2 6s, for instance, you'd get this gentleman, who is a rank 4 detective. Terms are University, Intelligence, Law Enforcement, and Law Enforcement. He's got a 9 strength, a 5 dex, 2 endurance, that's not good, 9 intelligence, 11 education, 4 soc, and I also like that the author put the modifiers for your standard 2 die 6 game right there next to it. So with a 9 strength, he would get a +1 for any kind of strength-related tasks. I like that. 16 hit points. This guy graduated with honors, destined for the stars. Truth is his compass, no matter the danger. Keeps count of every lie told on his watch. And his stats and his augments are none. So what happened? Why does this guy only have a 2 endurance? Well, maybe he rolled snake eyes and didn't roll anything to improve the endurance. Maybe I don't like that as the GM, so I go ahead and I change that a little bit. And I bump that endurance up, but I like the rest of the backstory. It's all stuff you can do. Now, speaking from personal experience, the Traveler game I ran about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had everything ready. I had the planet information laid out. The players were on a high port station, and I had all the details for that. And we sat down, everybody exchanged hellos. We were getting ready to go into the game, and I realized that I had not prepped 2 key NPCs. I had written some notes about them, but I didn't write up any stats on them. That is not something I like to wing in a Traveler game. I find Traveler, I need the stuff, my notes a little tighter. D&D by nature is a little more freewheeling, at least at my table. So I don't mind if I make an error like that. I can just kind of wing it. But for Traveler, I like to have the stuff dialed in, and I didn't. So a handy book like this would have saved my bacon that time. I was able to cover it, of course. I'm a veteran Traveler GM. But it's still something that I wasn't happy I did, and a book like this could have helped me out of. And then we get to the thank you. And then other titles by Cyborg Prime Games. These are on Drive-Thru-RPG. And there you go, the Traveler cheat sheet. I've taken a look at that. Beyond the Horizon, I looked at that. I think I did 36 sci-fi adventure hooks. This gentleman writes a good book. There's the open game license. And then we're out. Frank Siccardi writes a really good book. I like his stuff. When he offered to send this to me, I said absolutely, and he said, but that doesn't mean you owe me a good review. And I said, don't worry. And anything that's sent to me, I review honestly. And this one I'm happy to say I can review and say, yes, I'm glad I have it in my library, but I will put a link to the Drive-Thru-RPG, to put a link to this on our Drive-Thru-RPG. But there you have it. I like this book a lot. I'm excited that it's in my library. I'm absolutely going to keep this as part of my standard notes for Traveler. So I'm going to mix it in with what I'm calling my campaign folder. And all the important stuff and NPCs and such are appearing in that folder. And I'll be doing that with agents. So let me know what you think, if this is a book that would be of interest to you. And it's supposed to be the beginning of what appears to be a series from the Humanoid Resources Department. We have agents this time because they're the first up in the book, and then we'll go on from there. So I'm pretty excited about it. I really liked it. I enjoyed reading this yesterday. As I went through it, I just kept thinking of different adventure hooks and how I could use this guy or that guy. And a few of these guys are going to make it to my next Traveler session, which I have recently found out will not be until sometime in early to mid-December. With the holiday in there and everybody's schedules, that's going to be the earliest I'm going to be able to get one in. But I'm hoping to end the year on the last couple of games being Traveler. So we'll see how that goes. But that's all I've got to say today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave me comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Once again, I want to thank Cyborg Prime Games for sending this my way. I really appreciate it, and I really enjoyed it. So add it to your library. I recommend it. That's all I've got today. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.